Hello everyone, Skippy here, and welcome to One Piece episode 1038. Directed by Nanami Michibata from her and Kohei Kureta's board and supervised by Kazuya Hisada. After they've been taking it a little easy production-wise since Luffy's defeat, it seems like we're going back to a 100 with the start of the Tobiropo fights as Nami is set to take out Ulti in this week's episode. Being handled by a promising young director in Michibata to boot in both direction and storyboard this time, all the while our former co-series director Kohei Kureta makes an appearance on the storyboard side of things as well, for his farewell to the series that'll surely complete the board well. Combine that with some awesome looking animation and lighting so far, and I feel like we're in for a treat hopefully as this arc's action really starts to ramp up again. So will episode 1038 be as good as expected from the get-go? Let's charge up our lightning and find out. This episode covers the remainder of chapter 1016 and the first few pages of chapter 1017. And as expected, it does rearrange stuff like the more climactic moment with Yamato and Kaido towards the end of the episode, and in general just makes the various stuff going on around the castle that felt jumbled in the manga feel much more cohesive and threaded into one another, placing them in a manner that makes it so they all neatly converge into the final impactful moments with Tama before her speech. That really does a lot in regards to making the situation feel as dire as it should before everything collides. With plenty of solid music choices on board as well that only really amplifies the already mentioned feeling of despair and the eventual hope and sheer comedy of the situation, this is a prime example of how the anime can expand upon the source material in such little but effortless ways that ends up making it so much better than it was initially, even when we weren't expecting it from a Tama episode. Right as soon as the episode opens the A part of the episode that houses Michibata's part of the board, you can really see how much working with some of the best directors on the series has influenced her work. Drawing a punchy and stylish composition whenever they get the chance, and doubling that with some atmospheric lighting and overall compositing that makes the scenes at hand feel so alive on top of the voice acting, music, and everything. And with her knack for really insane expressions being introduced this episode, with Nami's funny little faces when she comes up with a solid nickname for Zeus, Michibata truly shows how much she's improving in every area of the series, including its most underrated aspect, the comedy, which makes it fit quite nicely being next to Kureta's board in the B part. That is definitely a lot more punchy in terms of color and crazy 90s-esque backgrounds and shots that are begging to be screenshots posted on Twitter, and gets far crazier than I even expected with the transitions from each situation on the island being so smooth and effortless, and just a really cool way to board it in general. The best thing about it is that neither half really feels like they came out of an entirely different episode, and that just does wonders for the overall cohesion of the episode, and allows for some surprising bits of animation as well that I don't think anyone was expecting even from boards like this. While Hisada and the assistant animation supervisors like Matsuda and Makoto Moroi do feel front and center in this episode, the real visual goodies are the scenes from two of One Piece's strongest online animators with Camille Areopagita and Vincent Chansard. With Camille's scene being a comparatively somewhat subdued but still extremely electrifying end to Ulti, and Vincent's scene being no joke quite possibly one of the strongest in Wano and maybe One Piece as a whole. I am not exaggerating when I say that Yamato and Kaido scene literally had my jaw dropping as it was going on. And honestly, it's hard to really find words to describe how fucking good his three-dimensional and rotation-loving animation really is here. It just kept going and going at the several different times that I expected it to stop, and truthfully shows Vincent at his absolute best even when he's delivered some crazy good scenes already for episodes upon episodes now. I don't want to suck it off too hard, so we'll just move on and say that 1038 really is just a bag of surprises around every corner, and I'm so glad to see the talent that make it all up get to do some crazy cool stuff for content that we weren't expecting to get such treatment at all. It's odd to say that content like this got an episode that was one of my all-time favorites in Onigashima, especially in recent memory, but I mean, hey, it is what it is. And when next week looks to be surprising as well, with Naoto Shishida popping up yet again to animate Queen's hybrid form transformation, adaptation. Who knows what 1039 from director Kenichi Takeshita might bring to the table as well. Anyways, guys, that's it for now. I'm Skippy, and I can't help it. Oh, good God, man.